All right, bring it. I dare someone to get sick in Pine Harbor County now. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2. Last week we added a police station, police modular build and natural disaster services to the Bunyan Rest area. And this week I'm actually really excited as we're going to be introducing some medical services that are not just going to serve Bunyan's Rest, but also all of Pine Harbor County. We're also going to begin crossing over Interstate 3 Highway and building a lot of really fun stuff. So without further delay, let's just jump right on into it. All right, so I want to start this episode's modular building by coming in and starting placing down some medical assets. And we're going to be placing a few of them. One, I want to place 2 different hospitals, and then I also want to introduce the Disease Control Center. So let's start by kind of coming in, unlocking the Disease Control Center. There we go. Actually, would help if I said the word right. And then let's come on in. I want a 4-lane road. So we'll start with a 2-lane road because I do want to just pull this forward. I'm going to actually turn my snapping to just existing geometry and 90-degree angle. That way we can just come straight on up here. And I want to put 2 medium parking spots right in here. And just get everything nice and snuggled in. And those are just going to be placed there for just a second while we come in here, add snapping to buildings. And now just delete our placeholders. Or put our placeholders back in because I mismeasured. Okay. That went a little smoother when I tried doing that earlier. But this will work for now, and I'm okay with this. So I just wanted to get this in as a base because I'm going to be using one connector here and then one outgoing only connector over here. So I just wanted to get this in as the placeholder first. So now, wrong button. Now I have a general idea of where the roads are already laid out for adding in this rather chunky building. And I'm not going to think too much on its positioning right now because I will be moving it around to better fit to just snap to the roads. But I do want it to be have this sort of orientation so that the curve of the disaster building is tucked nicely into our single point urban interchange. So now let's grab that 4-lane road again. this is just to kind of enjoy and abuse some of the road tools that we have. I'll admit it. I just love our road tools too much. Too much. Okie dokie. So the next thing I'd like to do is add in some hospitals in this area. And I'm thinking I've got to be careful for the helipad on the disease control center. I think I'm also going to run into a conflict with the railroad. Okay, so this is a prime example of what happens to me every single time I try to plan like a build. I always end up deviating. So I'm going to try this again. We're going to pull this all the way up here. We can leave the disease center right where it is because it's got road connection again. All right, that is what I wanted to do there. So the plan with the two hospitals is one hospital is going to be taking care of the entire county, and one is going to be taking care of just Bunyan's Rest. And this one here on the inside is going to be our Bunyan Rest Hospital. So I want to add just a specialized treatment ward and a trauma center to this one. And then this one, I'm going to leave the operating district mechanic off because I want it to service as much of the county as it will reach to. Because of that, we are going to add a helipad and the rest of the add-ons as well. This way, my hope is that the helipad will actually start extending out a little bit more. And I'm actually kind of curious if we come into our healthcare. Okay. Doesn't go as far as I would hope, but we will see what happens as the game itself progresses. All right, so next I want to add in some death services, and I actually want to do it on this side of Interstate 3, as this is going to be the side that starts tapering off in height. So I am going to just square off our grid here a little bit. And then I want to keep most of this fairly cozy here. So what I'm going to actually just do is extend this road a little bit here. Actually, probably with an alleyway is okay. No, we'll go with a 2-lane road. That's fine. And I want to add in two cemeteries. So let's just add one there. One there. And okay, we are finally at milestone 20. Which, I think that's the max milestone. It is. Oh, cool. Okay. So now we have all our development points and all our expansion permits. I mean, we have 173 expansion permits and 61 development points, so I don't think we're going to be hurting too much. I really thought when this game came out we'd have to do, like, I guess a budgeting system of the development points, but so far it hasn't been too bad. Anywho, so let's come back in, and I think I want to add a temple. Alright, and now that I have all of the add-ons I want in, I am going to get this as close to the highway as I can. Okay, and then the final asset I want to add from the desk services is actually the crematorium. And the crematorium is going to stay city-wide because I want something that will, I guess, for lack of better wording of it, clean out the bodies from the cemetery. Oh, I feel awful for saying it like that. So I want to put this kind of front and center right here, but I also want to kind of give it its own space. So let's come in with an alleyway. Let's draw out a little segment like so. And then let's just add that right on in. So this way, when you're coming in, you see this very wonderful brick building. You know, cremating bodies. So let's add in the additional incinerator. Wow, I really can't talk today. Additional incinerator. Though, I kind of like without. Okay, so we'll do the refrigerator. I guess I'm going to actually leave the extra incinerator off for now. And then instead, because I want to kind of keep everything symmetrical, we'll just add 2 additional garages. Yeah, okay. I think I like that for the most part. And then what we will do is come in. This one, let's make this one right here for Bunyan's Rest. Oops. This one for Bunyan's Rest. And that will stay without an operating district. And if you're wondering why I placed this so far away from the hospitals, it's because of this air and noise pollution. So my hopes that because it is low air pollution, keeping it out here will keep it from going into the main city area. But yeah, I think I like how this segment came out for the most part. I am going to actually just finish squaring off this part of the grid. Okay, perfect. So now we have some death services in. All right, so the next piece I want to work on is actually a little bit of zoning. So what I'm thinking I would like to do is actually come into this area here. Of squirrel brain with the road layout later. Oof, we gotta start like a counter of how many times I mispronounce things today. Let's come on in and let's start adding in some assets. So I know right away I want one very big, chunky, high-rise building here. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. So that was kind of the effect I was going for, where I wanted two similar looking assets going right on in. So yeah, let's work on kind of filling in the next section. So I'm thinking I want biggest fan of how big chunks of commercial zone look, but I'm gonna let the game level it up a little bit and see how it looks. What I might actually do is just add in a few more little ones, I guess. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna let it do its thing, and then come back in and see how we might want to change that up just a little bit. So let's move on to this side. And I think this part is just going to be some good old medium. Okay. Row houses look pretty good, I think, there. I just wanted something that would kind of tuck in here. I think that's tucking very nicely. Though, I do actually think this would be better, because then it's a layer of height on top of the train track. Yeah, I think that's a little better. It is downtown after all. It's okay if it's super chonky. Any zoning in here. Instead, what I'll probably do is just create a park that kind of wraps all the way around the disease control center. Okay, so I did do something wicked quickly off camera here, and that was add the subway line here. I wanted to make sure I was prioritizing the infrastructure for our public transport over any building. And naturally, this is a little wiggly. I wonder actually if it's because I forgot to add in the trees. Nope. She's just gonna be a little wiggly. That's okay. Anywho, yes. Prioritize infrastructure. Prioritize public transport. Always. So let's come back into using the zoning to kind of decorate up this area. And next part I want to do is right here for the cemetery area. And I actually want to keep this part, for the most part, I really want this to stay very green. And I plan on filling in a lot of this with, what's the words I'm looking for today, guys? They're eluding me a lot today. Pathways. There we go. So let's pause the simulation and let's just come in with a little bit of row housing. And I want a little segment there. I want a little segment here. And here, this part I think is gonna stay all forest. And then I do want to just put a little bit of zoning right there. All right, let's see how this grows in. Awesome. So that came out exactly as I was hoping it would. And then we will keep a good amount of green space right up here. Just because it's really needed. I mean, so far we have a concrete jungle kind of going on, so I do want to keep this as a good amount of green space. And just while I am thinking about it, let's come on in to our leisure. We do have a lot happening there, so I think we'll be okay. We don't need to add any parks at this time. So yeah. Nice little view we got going on there. Alrighty, so I think that just about wraps up all the assets I want to have placed in this episode. So let's jump on in to a Beautifying the Build time lapse. Okay, so I think that just about wraps up this episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider hitting the like button below, and for future episodes of Pine Harbor County, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If there was a particular part of the build you did enjoy, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be sure to respond, and I look forward to hearing everyone's thoughts on that build. Until then, I do hope that everyone has a phenomenal rest of their week.